Hello, denizens. I watched Apple Plus's Seth Rogen sitcom, The Studio. I'm not going to do a green light or not because I didn't have the patience. The show is terrible. I guess there will be spoilers, but if you couldn't guess what the show's about and the kind of hijinks that they're going to get into, then you might enjoy it. Now, based on Rotten Tomatoes and IMDb scores, both the critics and the viewers are loving this show, which also stars Catherine Hahn, Ike Barinholtz, Bryan Cranston, Catherine O'Hara, Chase Sue Wonders, Dwayne Perkins, and I'm probably going to pronounce this name wrong, Kayla Montroso Mejia, and Nicholas Stoller playing himself. Full disclosure, I don't like shows or movies about showbiz because they're just unrealistic, masturbatory, and mostly terrible, and I lived it. The Larry Sanders show, I would say, was an exception, and so was Extras. Now, I never saw Entourage. Everyone tells me about Entourage, but I heard it was okay. I was not a fan of 30 Rock, Studio 60 on the Sunset Strip was terrible. Reboot featuring Keegan-Michael Key and Paul Reiser was just on the edge of being okay, but fumbled the ball. I don't like them because of the navel gazing, and mainly because I don't care about the problems of actors and producers and the characters in these shows. And the stakes are never significant enough. I don't care that you couldn't land some big star for your project. I don't care that you crashed your Porsche or forgot your lines. There's very little of the showbiz lifestyle that is of interest to anyone except for those in the business. And even then, I can't conceive of anyone thinking the studio is funny or good or anything. I have no idea what all those critics were smoking. Perhaps they were just pushing for the reformed Rogan, who went from bad boy to Kevin Smith. At least we'll always have dogma. There sure is a ton of swearing in the studio. It felt like Rogan and company told the actors to improv to make it feel real, and the only thing they could come up with was swear more. But regarding real, I didn't believe Seth Rogen is a studio head. He plays it as an insecure idealist, as if he's lecturing Hollywood that they should do better. I'm sure the cast must be channeling people in the business they know and having a grand old time doing it, but it all comes off as one big extended Saturday Night Live sketch with big names, including a guest spot featuring Martin Scorsese. Yes, I'm sure some studio wank thought that a movie featuring the Kool-Aid Jugman would make the next great IP. Yeah, that's one of the main themes of the show, premises of the show. The show features Scorsese pitching a movie about Jonestown, which provides the gruesome tie-in to the Kool-Aid played for no laughs at all whatsoever. Besides, there was a Jonestown movie already called Paradise Lost, so I don't know what the big hubbub was all about in the show, because if this really was Hollywood, then they would have known about the feature. Sorry, I'm being sensible. The rules of the universe must apply even in a comedy. Now, I'm sure Rogan and company collected these ridiculous adventures in La La Land over their period of time working there and thought it would be hilarious. But for crying out loud, we've seen all these tropes before. Tropic Thunder probably did the best job of sending them up. You see, what you may not realize is that more people fail than succeed in Hollywood. Even the most revered might have maybe have a 10-to-1 failure to success ratio, and the rest are lucky to have 1,000-to-1. Making fun of others' failures is the main sport in the more expensive eateries there. Han does her over-the-top publicist character. I wasn't convinced. She's kind of a joke killer. And Cranston does his best to look stupid as the studio owner. I didn't believe his character. Now, Seth plays an executive producer who wants to do important movies with substance, but actors ignore him on the set. He's kind of a sad sack, actually. Now, that character I've seen, many times, that someone who's a bit too eager to be liked. When the studio boss, played by Catherine O'Hara, is tossed because of her long string of failures, Rogan is instantly willing to put aside all these convictions if doing the Kool-Aid movie that Cranston wants him to do will get him the studio head job. There is a running gag where he is constantly trying to be invited to any party hosted by Charlize Theron. Okay, I'll buy all of that, but it doesn't endear Rogan's character. Stoller, playing himself, presents the dumbest pitch for the Kool-Aid movie. I guess it was supposed to be funny. Seth's toady assistant, played by Barinholtz, gushes all over it. It's all so predictable. And I don't care. There's jokes about how easily the studio is willing to throw around $200 to $250 million to do a movie. that was a zinger. Seth is forced to engage with the ousted, bitter O'Hara, visiting her at her palatial estate. O'Hara is a marvel and probably the best thing in the show. And their relationship, Seth's and O'Hara's, was more realistic, and Catherine did not play a caricature. Full disclosure, it was Catherine who got me on the path to be a professional comedian. You can curse her for that. Anyway, I think I can guess what is coming up, what the upcoming episodes will be. The Kool-Aid movie will be a production nightmare. The end. That's it. I'm done. I'm not going to give this show any more time unless I hear from you denizens telling me that, wow, it has really become fabulous. But what are the chances that anyone out there actually has an Apple Plus subscription? Though one denizen suggested I check out Netflix's new comedy Running Point, the sports comedy, and I couldn't get past halfway before abandoning it. My gosh, I am a bitter old man. Till next time, denizens, be seeing you.